is not good enough just for the child who is the little bossy boot, and you say, well, you know, maybe we'll teach you some people skills here, and you can do it as a suggestion, you know, instead of telling people what to do. If you've actually taught the language to the whole class, then the rest of the class can recognise it as a discussion rather than a bossing situation. Likewise, if you're going to teach a child how to join in, and you say, okay, you stand at the edge of the game and you make a nice comment about the game, if the rest of the class isn't in on it, and knowing that that is a signal that they want to join in, they're just going, yeah, this is great fun, and they just carry on. They don't stop and go, would you like to join us? So the idea is to teach the skills. The other skill base that we have in here is, and it comes into this culture as well, is the Robert Pereira and the ABC paradigms, which I'm pretty sure everybody will know about. Giving them a chance to have a look. So you can't change the bully, but you can change the culture that they're trying to work in. And are you all familiar with ABC? I'm sorry for using a bad word. No, it's much more powerful when you actually have to say that word. Hugely powerful. And people think it's being slapped around the face with a wet bus ticket. I would like to bet that if you met Jesus and he took you through some of your problem-solving situations, you wouldn't feel like you've been slapped on the face with a wet bus ticket. If you actually have to sit down and name the beast and then look at how you're going to move forward and how you're going to repair that relationship, that's what it's all about. So if you don't know anything about restorative justice, just go back to your first reconciliation. The whole process of sitting down with someone, talking through it. We have a restorative chat that we use at the playground, and it starts to come through. So that's it. And
well, a couple of years ago when I spoke to you, you talked about your restorative justice process, and you were saying to me then that you viewed it as looking at the parts of the mess, you know, the gathering.
It is.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
And again,
I thought it was beautiful the way you put that. Could you explain that?
When you're doing the restorative process, I mean, you've got your little restorative chat, you know, when somebody's, you know, it's the ordinary everyday stuff, you know. When it escalates, and this is the neat thing about the restorative justice is, as behaviour which you don't want to be encouraging is escalating, it's got an escalation of how serious do we go. So you've got your little chat, then you might have a group conference, or you might have the whole class as a circle time. You might have to bring parents in, and we've all been through that type of process. If you think about, again, if you haven't done restorative justice, just think of your mass. You gather together. You outline what you're there for, basically. You go back to the Bible, you put your purple hat on. You can put your white hat on, get your facts. You've got references, like your first reading, your second reading. But always within the Mass, you get to the point where you share the Eucharist. And that's what you have to do to move up. You can't keep condemning children. You have to actually help them to grow, and that's what the restorative justice and the growing discipleship is all about. That doesn't mean that you're not going to turn around and say, "Put that down!" You know, I mean, you are going to have moments when you do that type of thing. No one's saying that you're not, but at some point when you calm down, or they put the hammer down, or stop hitting somebody over the head with it, you have to get through that process. So if you think of your first reconciliation, and you think about the Mass itself, and at the end of Mass, what does Father say?
Go in peace.
But he's giving you some instruction in the homily, so that, you know, you're not supposed to just go out and sin again and come back again. But it doesn't matter how many times. How many times do you forgive? How many times do you go through it? But in the meantime, you're not just leaving that sitting on its own. You've got your Robert Pereira and your ABC paradigm that you're doing in your classrooms. You've got friendly kids, friendly classrooms. You've got your restorative chats going on. So that it's not just, you know, change your ways. This is how you can change your ways. And having the language the same throughout the school.
Positives that they saw that they might be able to take back to their school, or that's inspired them to think about some other feed forward to that, and, you know, just whip in with any comments or questions as we're going around. Will that work? Following that, we've got a little 5-minute evaluation for you to do, and then I'm going to hand over for the last 10 minutes or so to Ian Kennedy from the Dunedin Diocese.
Lots of people have got lots of things on their paper, so they're probably lots of the same things. But we thought the Kapahaka groups, I think that all of us were quite inspired by that. We could see, you know, that the strong school-parish connection was important, and I think we'd like to keep, you know, to establish something more there in our schools. We, you know, really like the curriculum development here with the, you know, the Bible being an important aspect of it. You know, the liturgy teams was something that we thought we'd quite like to do at our school with the seniors and make it, you know, voluntary. And I think that, you know, that would be good. We really like the calm leadership within the schools. We noticed that, and that sort of sets the tone for the whole school environment. Trying to encourage us being the hands and voice of Jesus, or the children the hands and voice of Jesus, and how important it is to show that out in the wider community. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Cool. Anybody else in that group want to add anything?
Well, we said everyone was strongly, proudly Catholic, every school.
That's great, isn't it? I think that's the one of the nourishing things going around and visiting other schools, and also a learning thing. You think, oh yeah, we could do that. Curriculum planning is, well, it's just a no-brainer not to be using them, because they're such well put together resources. Would you agree, Anne? Yeah, and I think probably underutilised to a great deal in many schools. So I was particularly impressed with Trish when she talked about the fact that if they're looking at a big idea for a term, they go to those Caritas resources.
So I just thought, we looked at the Maori that was held at OLA. We just thought that Abraham was it, and the fact that he led the whole school, all the teachers knew what they were going to do for the couple of weeks, whether it was Teriel or the protocol. We thought that was a great idea to have it, you know, go from year 0 to year 8. We liked the leaders being presented with a cross on a chain, and that they were led out by the new entrants. We thought that was a wonderful idea. What else? We've talked about RE being linked to the curriculum at St. Peter's. That's just wonderfully done. The support of parents with home and school partnership, and involving also like the parishioners to come in and do things, and involving the grandparents. So the school parish partner.
And what was in the integration agreement. I think that's the further we move from the time of integration. This is a personal opinion. I hope it's shared by others. But you know, the further away we get from that time of integration, the more Catholic we have to be, the stronger we have to be at promoting the special character of our school. And it's really important with new teachers coming into your schools that you're constantly going back over the history of Catholic schools in New Zealand, so that they do know what makes this place special and what it is that we're all about. Okay, so then that must leave just one group to go.
We'll just add what we've got that you haven't got, which isn't a lot. One thing that did blow us away, what the meaning of pastoral care means in different schools, and what it meant in Sacred Heart, and what Trish is doing. I was quite blown away by that. We liked the idea, we saw in a lot of schools the inclusiveness of the children and the way they are preparing and liturgies and things like that.
Exactly, out of a need, but there's not the richness of a religious order to draw from. So in the charism work that I've just done is really to help a lot of our newer teachers to understand the importance of incorporating the charism of the founding order into the life of the school and into the life of your classroom. And we've seen some examples of that in the schools we've been to over the last couple of days. I think by doing this, you are honouring the work of the people that started your school. And often when I think about it, if they hadn't done this, you wouldn't be where you are. So it's like honouring the foundation.
On behalf of the Education Office team, to thank your principals, if you're not the principal, for giving you this time out of your classrooms, because it's, you know, they've got to get relievers in there to participate in this day. I want to thank you for the contributions you've made to the discussions, be it informally on the bus or over lunchtime, or as we have here just rounding off. Maureen has put an awful lot of work into this, and she's to be thanked, and I will do that for you, you know, to her on your behalf. Karen, what else do we need to say? Anything else? It's been wonderful. It's been a real learning journey for us, hasn't it?
It's been great. I hope everybody's enjoyed it as much as we have.
What I'll do is I'll take these things back and either type them up or just PDF them and send them to everybody, so you've got everybody's got a copy. I'll do that through Maureen, because she's got everybody's contact details. Are there any other questions or? I don't think so. No, I think we can run to them, Katie and Mandy. No, we don't need those. Yeah, the bus is here. So,
Bless the people who guide them in the Catholic Education Office, the other parts of the diocesan structure. Bless their bishop and their priests, and bless us all as we leave here today, and help us to celebrate your coming on Sunday as we begin the wonderful season of Advent. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Anne.